You know what I mean?
All right.
But yeah, could that do something?
Microwave, yeah.
But a microwave on the opposite end of side of a wall. Okay, so here's how the kitchen.
So how close is it to the?
So there's, say this is, we were sitting in the kitchen and this desk is the counter. The microwave is right here. On the other side of that wall is my girlfriend's dad's office, where he has like the thing for the Wi-Fi. It's right on the other side of the wall.
All right, yeah, that would.
Well, actually, there's a bathroom. I forgot about the bathroom.
Okay, that helps a little bit, but like it's pretty close to the. Is it like within like how much feet would you say?
Oh, probably like 5 or 6. There's a bathroom in between them.
It's 5 or 6 feet away from the microwave itself.
From the wall that the microwave is on to the wall, the office where the Wi-Fi thing is about 6 feet between them.
Yeah, that can totally affect it.
Okay.
So if someone's using the microwave while you're talking on Discord, it could possibly do that.
Those cunts. Okay.
Well, let's talk about Carl the Cuck.
So let's talk about Carl the Cuck's back. Oh no. So here's a meme, or I don't know. I know people call it a meme. Other people don't. I kicked the desk and I thought I was gonna fuck with this, but then I remember that you moved it over here. That's awesome. So
yeah.
A lot of people are super butthurt about this Trump having the widow of private. I think it was Owens. Ryan Owens was his name, I think. And at Trump's speech, his address to Congress or whatever that was, just a couple days ago, he had the widow, like that guy's wife, there, and they, I didn't really watch all of the thing, but from what I heard, it was a really, really nice. They're calling this Trump's best speech so far, and probably one of the best addresses in like recent time, because of how like presidential it was. Like people were like, "What the fuck, Trump? Like who is this guy speaking to us right now?" So
it was very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So the meme says Trump honored the widow of a man he got killed in the raid he was advised against, that he ordered over dinner and couldn't be bothered to watch. Republicans applauded him for it, making America what again? Now,
well, how do they know? How do they know for a fact that it was over dinner?
They don't know. I think that's just what some people say.
And they were making claims that it was an Android phone. Do they actually know that it was an Android phone?
Probably not.
And he's the president and Trump. He's a billionaire. He could have a encrypted phone that looks like an Android phone.
Yeah.
That isn't running Android and running a different operating system specifically made for him because he's the president. That's totally possible.
You've heard of the football, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. So that thing's definitely sitting around him. So maybe it wasn't an Android phone. It's probably just the football.
Might be, because it can direct attacks.
So I saw this, and I don't go out of my way to get into debates with Carl, but when you're posting dumb shit like this,
it's almost impossible, isn't it?
It's almost impossible. You have to say something. And so that's what oh, what the hell? Oh, no. He put a comment on here. As Weston Goldbar of the Cavalier put it, what Trump did with Karen Owens was not presidential at all. It was obscene. He authorized an attack that got her husband killed, or killed her husband. Tweeted during the raid, shifted the blame for said raid, unapologetically milked her husband's story for applause, and then proceeded to brag about the size of applause from the story. Please stop lowering the bar for this man. Now
this person ridiculously hates him.
It's ridiculous. And then this guy,
holy shit.
I didn't address this initially because I didn't really care to. Because I didn't even actually read it. But this is the autistic screeching here is so profound.
Yeah.
It wasn't any of these things, and tons of people, even Democrats, are saying that this was probably Trump's most presidential speech.
I honestly thought it was just a normal Trump speech, though. I felt like people weren't paying attention. He's always talked like this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, probably because of how he handled this. Well, he opened this thing. If I'm not mistaken, he opened the address, or at least he touched on it. The shooting in Florida, I think it was, with this Indian guy. Which is interesting. You know, I didn't even hear about this before then, and this was like a week ago. It's kind of fucked up. So I saw this thing and I addressed each point as it was addressed. Yes, he honored the widow of a fallen soldier. What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
You know what's wrong with that? Do you remember back at the DNC when they had the cons speaking? You know, and they're all like, "Oh, just ridiculous."
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that I've read from the left or the right makes a claim that he was advised against the mission. I haven't seen this anywhere that I've read this story.
Well, at this point, they're just making things up constantly.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, Obama was ready to say, let's go on this mission, right?
Yeah.
Obama was like, all right, let's go. But the Pentagon was like, hey, slow down. Let's do it when there's no moon, but that won't be until after you're not president anymore.
Yeah.
And I think I bring this up in here too. Here's reports that he approved it over dinner are sketchy at best, and I mean, they really are. You know, we already talked about that.
Yeah, I don't know how you could actually know for sure how he did it, unless you somehow hacked into the device he did it on.
Yep.
So.
Furthermore, this mission was planned back in November. All he did was authorize what they were already looking to do. If you want to blame anyone, blame the people that actually planned it.
I love how he responds to that part. It is hilarious. He is. I'm convinced that he's literally retarded. I can't believe it, dude.
Point 4 was the couldn't be bothered to watch. I said I don't know what that means. I'm assuming they're criticizing him for not sitting there.
That's just a very lazy way of saying I don't want to actually check.
Like, the only thing that I could possibly take that as meaning is that he didn't sit there and watch the raid.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, guys, this motherfucker is president.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of shit to do, and they did this. The time that they did this motherfucker has to be sleeping.
How do they know that he didn't watch it?
I don't know.
They're just making baseless claims constantly.
Yeah, this is happening at like nighttime over there. This is during the day. He has shit to do. You cannot pause the happenings.
Go back to the first picture. There's no sources.
Of course there's no sources.
I wanted to know where they're getting this supposed information from.
Seems legit.
Yeah, okay. That's all I wanted to do. For some reason it double pressed.
That's fine. But that's all I could assume. That's all I can think of now that it could mean. I just said I'll assume it's irrelevant. Which, I mean, it mostly is. Who fucking cares if he watched it? Who actually cares? I can't say for a fact that Obama sat there and watched every single raid he ever did. A lot of these, I'm pretty sure.
Every single.
A lot.
Didn't he kill like over 100,000 people?
I think they said that 90% of the casualties over there have been civilians.
I think that if you could actually call someone a war criminal when they're president of the United States, it would have to be Obama.
Right. I mean, and let's
killing
think about
90% of the drone strikes were fucking civilians.
Yeah.
He's a war criminal, dude.
Yeah, it's intense. But I mean, you can.
He literally should be locked up.
Prison. We should. Hey.
If he was president of any other country,
hey Donald Trump,
he would be called a war criminal.
If by some amazing chance you see this, investigate Obama.
Yes,
for sure. For sure, investigate that shit. 5 Republicans applauded the widow, not Trump. Know who didn't applaud the widow? Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Keith Ellison. Democrats, the former which ran the DNC and the latter of which was trying to take her seat. How was it wrong to have her there? Would it have been better for him to have said nothing at all? I think not, and I didn't even vote for him. I didn't. Anybody that knows me,
who didn't you vote for?
I didn't vote for Trump.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that knows me knows that I wasn't a Trump supporter at all during the primaries. I wasn't him during.
Yeah, you definitely weren't.
I wasn't a Trump supporter before he got elected, but once he became president, I was like, okay, maybe I should look into this.
Well, the whole time, like, for Trump, he wasn't really looking worse than Hillary, so I was either gonna vote for him or Gary Johnson. Yeah. And I voted for Gary Johnson because I didn't know what Trump was gonna do. There wasn't really any sort of actual history, political history that was really that accurate, at least.
Then so this whole thing, it made me think. I was telling you about this earlier before we started that, Ellison was trying to take over, the DNC and stuff. He was running for the chair spot. I think they chose Tom Perez instead. And when Keith Ellison lost, the Democrats, like a bunch of the left people that want to get the corruption out, I thought they were going to jump off buildings. Like
Kyle Kulinski.
Like Kyle Kulinski, I thought he was going to go jump down an elevator shaft with how upset he seemed on Twitter.
Yeah, he was pretty butthurt.
He was just... His colon was in a French twist, is what that was. But the fact that he of all people wouldn't honor this woman while she was there, is that the kind of guy you want trying to get the corruption out when he's sitting there whispering and being buddies with Wasserman Schultz, the lady that made this shit a problem in the first place?
Yeah.
Are you on... How much acid do you think they have to be taking to think that they're on the right side of this? They are in the delusional state could only be drug induced. To which Carl replies, "Blame the people that planned it. Have you ever had a job where you had to approve something that someone else planned? Obviously not."
This makes no fucking sense. His rebuttal is retarded as fuck. What the fuck?
Joke's on him, though. Because I have. Nothing compared to a military operation. That was pointless.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's proof that you literally have no idea what you're talking about. It's a verifiable fact that Obama's people planned the raid. He wanted to do it before he left, but the Pentagon said wait until the next moonless night, which isn't until after you're done. The military, not the president, planned the raid. It's not unheard of for presidents to leave the planning such things to the people that know what they're doing. That's why they pick the people that they do to do.
The worst military tragedies in the United States are due to a president being they're too involved with military planning to the point where they don't actually use the tactics of actual military people that have been trained for years.
So you can't even point at Trump's people and be Trump's military people and say this is your fault because this was planned before he was president. This is Obama's military people planned this.
I guarantee you this is something Obama talked to him about when they met at the White House.
Probably. They definitely talked about some intense shit.
They definitely did, yeah.
Just the looks on Trump's faces and all those pictures. Whew. So...
He knows about the aliens.
Right. I'm not even saying to blame Obama, either, because, Trump, he likely had very little to do with the planning. Blame the stupid military personnel that put this mission together. Instead of addressing all those points... So when you had this job, how often did you authorize something that you knew would fail and was a terrible idea? Where was this? Why is my work history relevant? But I threw him a bone. He never replied. I don't think. I didn't send you with anything after this, did I?
Nope, you didn't.
Okay, so he left it with this. I said, dodging the facts, Trump didn't know it was going to fail because Trump didn't plan it. The military did. Whether or not it's a failure is apparently subjective because it's torn pretty solid between both ways, being a success or a failure. Lots of people say it was a success because they got what they were after. A lot of people say it was a failure because a bunch of people died. Both are true. So, it's kind of a mix of both. It all depends on, if you're saying from an objective standpoint, saying, hey, we want to get this stuff, it was a success.
Yeah.
And that's how missions. I said my work history is completely irrelevant, but for about 2 years, I should have said it was about 2 years. This is about a year and 7 months. I worked directly with the president and CEO of a multi-million-dollar web design firm. This is true. I could probably go find back on like archive.org or whatever that is, the Wayback Machine, and find my picture and my information on their website.
Yeah. Does their website still exist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I worked with this guy, 12, 16 hours a day. Every day. I almost never had a day off. When he wasn't gone...
Why don't you work there anymore?
Because he's fucking weird.
Oh. He's fucking weird.
This is the one that I was saying I'm pretty sure goes out and does a bunch of drugs and disappears for like 4 days.
Okay.
Because there was one time... I'm not going to say this guy's name. And
yeah.
You would have to try really hard to find out exactly who I'm talking about. But this guy... I mean, I can show you if you want me to verify some of this, but I'm pretty...
Obviously not on...
I'm pretty sure. Exactly, because I don't want, anyone going people going after him, because he gets shit already. He had a couple guys that worked for him before I started working for him broke into like where they kept like all of their client information.
What the fuck?
Stole like all of their clients and went and started their own company.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
He was so like untrustworthy of people. I was his inner circle was me. His inner circle was me. He didn't trust anybody else. And even like when it got to me quitting, he was starting to get paranoid that I was up to some shit. So I was like, dude, I've worked for you for almost 2 years, this job almost destroyed my relationship, and you're going to like say that if I wanted to destroy this company, I would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
There was one point in time where I had a credit card information given to me to like go buy advertising and stuff like that. And the limit on this thing was $2 million.
What the?
I had $2 million at my disposal.
Holy shit.
And I didn't do anything he didn't tell me to. I think I spent $10.
Damn.
And I was like, dude, it was too much. I can't do that. I can't handle that.
Yeah.
I oversaw a great deal of business and was tasked with making very, very sensitive decisions. Yeah. The money thing, for example.
Yeah.
But again, that's irrelevant. Who fucking cares what I did for work?
Yeah.
It was probably, honestly, listen. That was probably the worst job I've ever had. And this was a job where deals we were closing were like over like almost $250,000 deals.
Did he pay you well?
I got paid pretty good, yeah. Oh, but it was fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Because listen, when it got to be like, there's a time where like the job got to be too much and I quit for a little bit.
Yeah.
At that point, when I had to quit, I was officially being referred to as his VP.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high up position there.
I was pretty high up, but it was too much. I couldn't work 16, 18 hours a day, sleeping all the time. It was terrible.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible for my health. This guy had a fucking pulmonary embolism he had to keep going to the hospital for. And I'm like, I don't want to be a rich person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
This guy's gonna fucking die any second. Like, he's so sure he's going to die, he has a will and has left most of his money to his parents. And his parents are like 90.
Yeah.
He thinks he's going to die before them. But yeah, Carl never replied.
Of course he didn't.
Fuck you, Jason.
Damn it.
No, you don't.